What's going on, everybody? It's Kristen Yafianes. How's everybody doing? Happy sunshine. So I am tapping in, and kind of doing things a little bit different. Um, I want to continue to show up each week and give my weekly tarot messages. I want to continue to do my intuitive Monday morning or Monday affirmations and just kind of drop different various seeds of what Love Naturally is kind of all about and what Love Naturally is bringing in regards to products, my course, and things like that. So today um, is a day, it's Tuesday, and on Tuesdays I kind of narrowed down and I'm going to use Tuesdays as, hold on, turn this TV on. I want to use Tuesdays as my day of, Tarot Tuesday in a way, or give my messages. And so today I don't have the cards. And it wasn't on purpose at all. I love my cards. But although I don't have my cards here with me, I'm gonna continue to move. And so this week is message is the master key, which centers around Chiron Gemini placements. And so I kind of was just talking and was, talking to myself and to spirit and was like, okay, I'm still going to show up. I said I was going to show up each week. Last week was Love Scope. This week is Master Key. And so, what's the message, right? And one of the first things I heard and I picked up on is supporting others' form of expression. A lot of the times, Geminis struggle with, and depending on the house that you're in, Geminis struggle with expressing themselves. A lot of Chiron Gemini placements run into feeling like that their expression or their viewpoints or how they see things or their truth, is not valid. It's something that's internal, and it's something that's also, projected outwardly. You'll find that Chiron Gemini placements are even told that, what they say or how they view things or their, expression is either false, wrong, just not worthy. Once again, this is sometimes inward and this is outward as well. And so, with that, one thing that I've learned, and I'm still learning is, just like the saying that I live by, and what is that? Like a stain on the carpet. But one of the things that I live by is treating others how you want to be treated. And I try to do my best when it comes to treating others how you want to be treated. And like Spirit threw something in there, and it's like, yeah, you treat others how you want to be treated, but also respect people's other forms of expression, other forms of expression and their truth as well. And we all have various forms, of what our truth is. You know what I mean? And I wrote some notes. And it says support others how you would want to be supported. Show understanding or care for others' truth. So when it comes to the outer side of all of this, when it comes to um kind of allowing people to have their version of truth, and as well as honoring your own truth, it can kind of take you very far, and it can heal you as well. It's kind of, even though you may not understand or you may not hold somebody else's truth as your truth, it's okay. You can either learn from it, learn something from it, take a piece of it, or take it as a grain of salt, and let it go. But don't, excuse me, don't allow, take it, something was coming through, take it as a grain of salt, but still show care and understanding, and even try to understand, if you're in a conversation with somebody, and you may not, you have dialogue with somebody, and you may not truly, understand what they're talking about, or you don't accept what they're saying as truth. Ask questions to dig, to dig a little deeper, to find some sort of balance in what it is that you are discussing. What else did I write? Okay, so Chiron placements in general, just because it's, the wounded healer, there's a guard up. When you are wounded, there's usually a barrier, and spirit is giving me, I give thanks. Spirit, as the word is a B right here too. I give thanks for the confirmation. But just like when you actually have like a wound, on your skin, and that wound is there, that wound is open, and then you guard that wound with the band-aid. But what some people don't understand, and what they don't know, is that band-aid is actually blocking healing, because that wound, it needs air. It needs air. It needs to draw out the moisture, so that it won't get infected, and it can heal you. It's actually something my sister told me. I can't remember, I don't know if it was my niece or my daughter, kept wanting band-aids. They hurt themselves and they kept wanting band-aids, and I would, constantly, hey, here's a band-aid, put a band-aid on it. She's like, no, a band-aid is cool initially, but take that band-aid off so that it can heal itself, and it can create a scab, and start the healing process. And just like with that Chiron placement, we often go through a wounding, during our childhood, and this is no matter what your Chiron placement is. But we develop that wounding, and then we, tend to, guard up. And, for me, Chiron Gemini, and for you, Chiron Gemini, you put a guard up when it comes to your throat and your expression and your truth, because, you may fear being laughed at, you may fear being ridiculed, you may fear being outcasted or looked down upon, what have you, I've had all of them. I've had people laugh at me. I've had people ridicule me. I've had people outcast me, all types of things. And so you put that guard up, but take that guard down. And no matter if you're in dialogue with someone, if you're, discussing something, and you're in conversation, and your truths are, it's not syncing up, continue to speak, you know what I mean? And at the same time, honor what it is that you are hearing. Continue to speak. Continue to stand firm in what your truth is and what you bring to the table, because there is truth to it. There is I'm hearing education. There is truth to it, and there is you are teaching, you are giving, service, and you are, giving information. So continue to share, continue to speak up, you know what I mean? But allow some truth, or another person's form of truth, to come back to you. Take in whatever it is that is good for you, and then let it go. Current placement is not a guard we need to hold up. And then I put express and be proud and let others express. Just don't shrink. So yeah, speak up and stand firm in your knowing, in your truth, and just don't shrink yourself. Um, yeah, just don't shrink yourself. Spirit just said, you are a vessel. You are only but a vessel. You are only but a vessel. And then I heard commentary, creating commentary. And I just heard other people's words are not weapons. Don't look at, what other people say, or other people's version of truth, or what other people may even project and put on you as weapons. Although people can use their words as weapons, but it's like spirit is highlighting other people's words are not weapons, as well as don't use your words as weapons. And just reiteration, I just heard that, I heard that, do not shrink. Do not shrink. Do not shrink. Yeah, I heard that. hmm I really don't have much more. And if I do, I'll just add on to it within the video, if it comes to me. In my head, I'm hearing, and I'm gonna just talk. So in my head, I'm seeing the Knight of Swords, and because we're talking about Gemini energy, so I'm seeing the Knight of Swords, and I'm also seeing the Ace of Swords. And it's like I'm picking up on somebody being hesitant, hesitant with their truth, because the Knight of Swords is usually, it's kind of like more fast moving, um, one of like the faster moving uh, knights in the deck, but the the Knight of Swords can is logical, you know. It's kind of thinking before they speak, um, and it's like I'm picking up on the energy of somebody kind of thinking too hard, you know, like thinking too hard, um, and hesitant to speak, hesitant to, you know, share the information. And trust me, I've been there and I've done it. I've been there and I've done it, you know, been hesitant to speak and hesitant to, you know, do my readings and everything like that. So I understand, but there's somebody here that may be watching this or may see this, you know, now or in the future, and it's like spirit is like saying, you know, don't be hesitant, move forward, be, you can be logical, you know what I mean, and that's fine, that's kind of actually smart, you know. And you don't want to necessarily be like the Knight of Wands and just, you know, kind of spill out everything and don't necessarily think about it, you know what I mean, and be fast moving and just hasty in what you're saying. So think about it, be logical about it, but don't be hesitant. You know, stand in that of swords, stand in that ace of swords energy. As you got the sword in your hand, you know, think about the ace of I mean not the ace, but the sword, the Knight of Swords. So think about the Knight of Swords. He's on his horse and he got the information in his hand. He's ready to deliver and he's logical and he's strategic. It's like you hold that authority, you know, to speak already, and it's fine. Be logical. There's no sense of, you know what I mean, holding it back. Now you're on the horse. You're mounted. You're mounted on that horse. You know what I mean? Just click that, you know what I mean, that movement, how you get the horse to move with your foot and with the reins and everything. Go ahead and do what you got to do and let that let that horse, and spirit just gave me the energy of the horse being spirit. You know what I mean? You got the information in your hand, but allow that horse to move. That horse is essentially like you are moving and you can maneuver and everything, but you're on a horse. The horse is a living being. So let that horse, you know, and let spirit, you know, ride you into that expression of truth, if that makes sense. Um, I think I'm gonna just leave it here. 18 minutes. I think I'm gonna just leave that here. hmm So that was my master key message. I hope that that helped you. I hope that that aided you. Um, and if you are one that is presenting commentary, um, maybe you have a platform and everything, and you are speaking and presenting like commentary and speaking on other things or whatever, you know, videos or whatever that you may see. Write it down, write it down, sit with it, process it, write it down, sit with it, and process it. These are, I'm hearing, these are your views, these are your views. And it's okay to have views about things, you know what I mean. Yeah, somebody may be wanting to do like um yeah, it's okay to have your views and your perspective, but at the same time, when you are on certain platforms, you know what I mean, you might have people commenting and don't agree with your views, and that's okay too. That's okay too. Don't just hold hate and harbor hate, you know, in your heart because somebody don't agree with you. You don't want to turn your platform into a negative platform, you know, like turn it into something that where everybody can, can congregate and discuss and have, adult conversation. And maybe you're one, you want to like open up, discussions on, politics, things that's going on in the world, and that's sensitive, to some people. So you're gonna have to, you with the platform, stand in your truth, but you with the platform, you're gonna have to create a softness, a soft atmosphere. um and then it says on this board, browser for research. I keep looking at it, browser for research. So, make sure, if it has anything to do with outside of your own experience, you know what I mean? Like, make sure the research is there. Because, talking on your experience is one thing, but if you're talking in regards to something that you necessarily haven't experienced, you want to make sure that the information that you're speaking um is something that you know. um just don't shrink. My eyes just don't shrink. Don't shrink. If it get hard, if it get, what I mean, tough, you may be hold on one second. um okay. um um Browse for research. I forgot what I was saying. I think I might have said it. Oh, what else was coming to me? A panel. um you may be asked to, come on to a panel, of other people with, multiple different views. And it's like, just don't shrink, just don't shrink. I just heard, be matter of fact. Just don't shrink. Hold your composure. Hold your composure, because you're on the horse. You're on the horse. You're on the horse. We're in the horse year. Ooh, we're in a horse year. We are in a horse year. A lot of people, are kind of taking that, and this is spirit, this is spirit. A lot of people are taking that and allowing themselves to see the horse as symbolism, but spirit said, put yourself on the horse. Spirit said, be on the horse. The horse isn't just showing up for you to say, "Oh yeah, this is just horse year energy." Get on that horse. Get on that horse. Get on the horse. Ooh. Mount that horse. Mount that horse. Yeah. I just heard, don't wait for your ships to come in. Don't wait for your ships to come in. Get on that horse and gallop to your ship. Gallop to your ship. Or whatever, because on the being on the water, it can be a little slower, waiting on the ship. Don't wait on the ship to come in. Gallop to your destiny. Don't wait for the ship to come in to take you to for you to dock that ship and get on that ship. You know what I mean? Don't wait for that ship to come to the dock for you to, get onto that ship. Mount that horse and you gallop and you giddy up and you get on your ship. I mean, get on your horse and you ride to your destiny. Just don't shrink. Just don't shrink. Oh, I say, just don't shrink. you get on that horse. That's all. I'm gonna end it there. Love naturally, everybody. Happy sunshine. Peace.